Hey guys, Vicestats here. I recently saw Junji Ito's Tales of the Macabre on Netflix with Mama Vice and some of the guys, and I think that it was, as a whole, not that great, and some of the stories were really good, but most of them were not. I would say 50% of them were okay, 25% were really good, and 25% were really bad. And that's kind of what happens with an anthology. I saw this at first, and I was kind of disappointed because a few years ago I had seen the trailer for Adult Swim's Uzumaki, and they were very deliberate in that trailer with making sure they captured Junji Ito's style. And I think that doing that is the best way to go about it, because looking at Tales of the Macabre, which is just an adaptation, Tales of the Macabre just falls flat. There's a lot of visuals in Junji Ito's work that's very striking, it's very memorable, it sticks with you. Aside from the fact that his stories in general are really good, he has a very distinct style, and usually whenever you make an anime, whenever you adapt an anime from a manga, you try and copy the source material, and for whatever reason, Tales of the Macabre didn't do that, and that actually really hurts the final product in the end. There were a lot of panels, a lot of comic panels that I had seen before, because I've been into Junji Ito for a long time. About 10 years ago, I saw I read the Amigara Fault comic, and I really liked it, and I kind of went on a binge, and I read a bunch of his stuff, and there's a very striking design that Junji Ito has, and in Tales of the Macabre, all the designs are just standard. They're box standard. Nothing looks reminiscent of the source material, to the point where if I didn't know this was an adaptation of his work, I wouldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have figured that out on my own if I hadn't been told by the name of the title, by the description on Netflix. There's a lot of things that I think could have been scarier if they were presented differently. Art style is a big part of the presentation, but another part of the presentation that I didn't really like was a lot of the musical choices. Not musical. It's not like it's a musical. But there were a couple scenes that I felt could have been better if they had chose different sounds. There's one scene in the final episode where this stray cat that the family picked up, it got cursed by this creepy little brother and kind of turned into a wild cat, and he keeps bringing creepy crawlies into the home. And there's a panel from the comic that's very iconic, where this cat is, with this manic look in its eye, is bringing home this weird, gross bug with 1,000,000 legs and 1,000 eyes, and it's hissing as they try and take it from him, right? And they have this kind of whimsical, comedic music when they get to that scene in the show, which completely deflates it. And I will say that the first and last episode, because this was the last episode, the first and last episode of this anthology, not good at all. I would say bad. The first episode is really bad, in fact, where we had the whole house sitting down and we were going to watch it. We all like Junji Ito, and we're watching the first episode. It was so bad, and we're like, "What is this actually? Is this actually Junji Ito? Like, what are you doing? You know?" So we stuck with it, which is good, because there were some good episodes immediately afterwards. But the first episode was not good. Maybe I don't know what Macabre is. I like the horror aspect of it. I like the disturbing imagery. I like the disturbing ideas. And there's a couple episodes in this anthology that are just gross people being mean to each other for no reason. And one of those episodes was really hard for me because it wasn't scary. There wasn't horror. It was just people abusing kids for no reason, just to be mean. And I've talked a little before. If you guys have seen my live stream, or you guys talk to me outside of YouTube, you guys know that I'm a dad. I have baby Vice, and ever since having baby Vice, I've been a lot more sensitive to things involving harm coming to kids. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that like I don't ever want to see like you can't have kids and you can't have bad things happen to kids in media. Like, that's part of it, but just it seems pointless. Like, it's not scary, it's not there to make you think, it's not there to scare you, it's just child abuse. And I didn't like that at all. I will say that, like I said earlier, 50% of the shows or of the episodes are just okay. It's an anthology. None of them. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain coming through my mic. I chose this rain room because it's raining really loud here. But a couple of episodes are really good. Most of them are fine, not that great. Some of them are bad. The ones that I really liked, and the ones I think you should look out for if you do decide to watch this, the balloons. Check out the Whispering Woman. Check out the Ice Cream Man, and then check out Layers of Fear. If you're not sure about watching this, because honestly, I have a hard time recommending it. I have a hard time recommending it as a whole. You guys know that, like, from my previous reviews, I give it like 5 stars. I give it like whatever out of 10. I just, a simple flat recommend or don't recommend. And I don't know if I can recommend the whole series. I would say check out those 4. Again, check out the Ice Cream Man, Layers of Fear, check out the, I'm having a brain fart. What were those ones I just said? Ice Cream Man, Layers of Fear, Whispering Woman, and then what was that 4th one, dude? The Balloons. The Balloons. Check out The Balloons. That was my favorite comic out of all of them, and I'm really glad they adapted that one. So I would say check out those 4. It's on Netflix. If you have it, just check it out. If you decide you like those, just know that those are the best. If you wanted to see more, go for it. I'm giving you a warning. The rest aren't as good as those. But that's it. I was actually kind of disappointed with the whole thing as a whole. I would have liked to have seen something better. I would have liked to have seen Amigara Fault being adapted, especially considering I think that's the one that everybody knows Junji Ito for. Even if you don't know him, if you haven't seen any of his work, you've probably seen that, even if you've just seen it in like meme format, you know. That's my whole. It's such a funny saying. It's a funny phrase out of context. There's a lot you can do with it, but I'm really kind of surprised they didn't do that. I'm gonna go back to the visual here real quick. The visual aspect of it. It doesn't look that good. It looks very standard, very plain. A lot of the colors are drab in order to try and keep up with the Macabre theme, but that just makes it less visually interesting. And compared to the Uzumaki trailer that was released a couple years ago, Toonami is working with a studio to create Uzumaki, which I haven't read Uzumaki. From what I understand, it's a serial. It's a series of comics that all tell one story about a town being overcome with an obsession with spirals. And I actually might read that one because this anthology had me so disappointed that it makes me want to see more of the good stuff. While I'm here, I'm also gonna. So yeah, I just want to say, keep an eye out for that. I don't know when that's happening. Maybe even it probably not even this year because they're not giving a lot of updates, but they just are working on it. And Junji Ito has actually met with the producers, the team who's making the Uzumaki trailer. Here I am talking about a completely different product. But I'm looking forward to that one. I'll say that. This one you can probably pass. I would still recommend those 4 episodes, but you can probably pass on this one. I don't really think I'd recommend it. What I will recommend, though, absolutely I will recommend, if you guys like Junji Ito, if you guys like Lovecraftian horror, there's a game. It's one of my favorite games on Steam. It's called World of Horror. It's rogue. I hate saying roguelike because roguelike just kind of means that it's like randomized and you go on runs. But it's a game with multiple runs. Random chance happens. The art style is completely Junji Ito inspired. The black and white, the visual horror of it all, the body horror, and then you're fighting eldritch gods. So it's like Lovecraft and Junji Ito. It's called World of Horror. I think it's like $20, but it's worth every penny. I will say check that out. That's it. I don't know what else to say. That's it. Much like Junji Ito, I don't know how to end this video, so bye.